what is necessary to those who do not know what horror means. Horror. Horror has a face, and you must make a friend of horror. Horror and moral terror are your friends. If they are not, then they are enemies to be feared. They are truly enemies.
So I go inside, I politely say, hey, can I have a McRib meal? Large size with the Dr. Pepper. And the lady said, well, okay, that'd be $6.58. I said, ain't you forgetting something, ma'am? And she said, well, what? I said, you're supposed to offer me the extra McRib for $1 when you buy the McRib meal. You ain't gonna believe it. She looked me up and down. And she said, well, it don't look like you need the extra McRib. Excuse me, bitch?
Look at this bun right here is not fun. This bun is not fun and really has no business with your McRib. But you go to pick it up, it's already broken right here in the center, so you can't even get a full grasp on the McRib. Now, I could drop the top in a convertible box for show, and show the Ickle Pickles popping on the handstand with some on y'all, and the McRib slab itself. You know, the McSlab, no doubt. And I said that's what y'all really need to call it, because McDonald's, we know that ain't no rib. Just it's a slab of meat. You just call it the McSlab. Don't even play. You ain't gotta play no more.
So a McDonald's employee made like a first-person video of him making a McRib. Some microplastic filled, plastic shrink-wrapped slabs of soy and corn-fed pork slapped onto a grill, pulled from the grill, thrown into a plastic container, and then like baked in this soy-based high fructose corn syrup sauce, barbecue sauce, then removed from that, slapped onto a bun, and then all served hot in a like BPA plastic film coated plastic container. It got me thinking. There's this article the other day, I think it was in Vice. The headline was something like, the military wants to feed us plastic. DARPA. Anybody who knows a little bit about the history of DARPA, and if not, if you don't know about the history of DARPA, I think a good, more mainstream source would be Annie Jacobson's book, The Pentagon's Brain. But DARPA, the public-private partnership-enabled military think tank, scientific advancement arm of the U.S. military and State Department, has been funding research on microbes that can break down plastic. And this Vice article was saying, well, you're not exactly going to be munching down on Funko Pops, unfortunately. Unfortunately, you're not going to be eating Funko Pops, but those plastics could perhaps be broken down by bacteria that will eat that plastic and spit out a residue, right? You will be eating the excrement of bacterias that eat plastic. How great does that sound? Doesn't that sound like a beautiful way to save the planet? Anybody who's watched this channel for a while understands that plastic is a huge part of our diet. For a long time, we've been eating tons of plastics in our foods, in cosmetic products, in soaps. Many of these plastics that are known to have effects on animal fertility, right? On sperm count, sperm quality, sperm motility, and female fertility as well. So eating plastic intentionally right? While we're also unintentionally consuming all this plastic in the fast foods from McDonald's and our plastic wrapped foods that we buy from the grocery stores, our diet is already full of these plastics that are hormone disruptors and known carcinogens. But DARPA wants to feed us a plastic protein powder, right? So you're going to get your for your bug burgers, you can make a gluten-free cricket and microplastic bacterial excrement byproduct bun. Right? You can have a bun that's gluten-free, made from plastic protein powder, but it's okay because it's scientific, right? This is science. Right? You just give it a fancy name. This is not GMO bacteria that eat plastic and you eat their poop. This is micro precision fermentation. This is sustainable. Not only is this sustainable, we have to do this, right? If everybody doesn't do this, the weather won't stop changing. Right? So the plastics are already everywhere, and they want to just feed us straight up plastic. Now, the funny thing about the fertility regulating effects of these microplastics, the fertility disruption effects, and the decreasing fertility that's happening throughout the world right now, especially in developed countries.
To the distinguished audience, this is a message from the World Economic Forum. We want to ensure that you do not listen to this bigot who will tell you to go to shock.com. There's a link in the description. Do not click the link in the description. It will bring you to a place where you can get highest quality adaptogens so that you can thrive. But the World Economic Forum would much prefer that you would continue to eat your bugs, live in your croompod, maintain your social credit score, and do not purchase these products. If you do use the coupon code BIG53LIFE, you will get 53% off all subscriptions for life. Do not get a subscription for 53% off of the highest quality purified shellogit. It is best for you to continue to consume the soy sludge. It is preferable that you continue to drink the tap water, avoid quality food, and do not take chalk highest quality supplements. Thank you very much. The World Economic Forum loves you ever so much.
This decrease in fertility is not just done by choice, right? Propaganda and, of course, economic incentives not to have children. These have all been discussed in, the Jaffe memo, in textbooks like John P. Holdren and Paul Ehrlich's Eco-Science, which we discussed many times here. It's not just being done voluntarily, but also the foods we eat are affecting fertility as well. Now, it's funny because that Eco-Science book I just mentioned, in the chapter on population policies, Paul Ehrlich and John P. Holdren cite scientists. Remember, this is I think it was published first in 1971, the first edition of this textbook. The scientists are suggesting adding sterilants to the food and water supply. Perhaps these sterilants would be able to decrease fertility dramatically. And of course, they say we got to make sure that these sterilants are not affecting livestock, because, oh my goodness, heaven forbid if we accidentally sterilize the livestock while we're intentionally sterilizing all the human livestock. So this is the way a lot of these people that are developing our culture, that are involved in these social engineering campaigns to decrease human fertility, that are involved in the setting of dietary policy, that are involved in creating economic policy that will incentivize women to leave their families, never start families, delay having their children, which, as we're seeing now, all of these factors combined are resulting in a lot of women who are in their mid-30s, late 30s thinking, oh yeah, it's fine, I'm ready to have a child now. And they're trying and they're unable to. The sterility among men and women is just off the charts these days. When you look at our food supply, one of the major foods that is making up kind of the foundation of our diet is corn. GMO corn, GMO soy. And these are being touted as sustainable because remember, Monsanto is one of the most sustainable companies in the world. Monsanto, Syngenta, Dow, all these big GMO giants, they are all part of the World Business Council for Sustainable Development, pushing for dietary policies that will help us to reduce our meat consumption and focus instead on eating more of the corn, of the soy, more of these industrially produced monocrops. So F. William Engdahl, in his book, The Seeds of Destruction, which is about the genetic modification of crops, and the NGOs and big foundations and big money and the ideologies that were behind the industrial takeover of our agriculture system, included in one of the most important chapters in this book some information about a company called Epicite. Epicite sounds innocent enough, right? Now, Epicite was involved in the genetic modification of corn. And in 2001, actually it was September 9th, 2001, an article was published. You can still find the Guardian's version of this press release, which said that spermicidal corn could help stop man from spreading his seed, and that this could help to curb overpopulation. So Epicite developed a way to insert the gene that was present in women who have what's called an autoimmune infertility, where their body creates an immune reaction and antibodies in order to eliminate sperm. They were able to insert this gene into corn. And F. William Engdahl cites the president of this company saying, "We have a hotbed full of maize that produces spermicidal antibodies." Now, that's not strange enough. Epicite was also partnered with Dow. Dow, one of the biggest pharmaceutical, one of the biggest agrochemical companies, and one of the GMO giants, along with Syngenta, who got a connection with this as well. In October of 2002, it was announced that Epicite was involved in trials with, I think, the U.S. Department of Agriculture, and that included this spermicidal corn, this genetically modified corn that would produce antibodies to sperm. The Department of Defense was also involved in pilot research with these same companies at the same time. So isn't that funny? So DARPA, the Department of Defense, Dow, Monsanto, Syngenta, all these big GMO giants, they've been involved in research in antibody producing, anti-fertility crops for a long time. I mean, for over 20 years at least. Now don't worry, they're doing it to stop the weather from changing. They're doing it for our own good. They're doing it because they just love us, right? That's why we need to be supporting locally produced agriculture. This is why we need to be supporting regenerative agriculture. Maybe some of us need to be getting involved in doing this ourselves. Now, it's not easy and it's not cheap to start getting involved in a little bit of like homesteading or hobby farming. But I'll tell you what, it is very rewarding. You taste the difference and you feel the difference. And you know where your food is coming from. And to know where your food is coming from, you don't have to produce your own food necessarily. You can just go to people who you know produce quality food. So supporting locally produced, regenerative, agriculture-based farms. You can check out eatwild.com to get in touch with local farmers in your area, where you can obviously get a much better price on food, but then you'll be able to know the quality. You'll be able to visit the places that are producing your food. Realmilk.com is a place where you can get raw milk. We've got no association with either one of those websites, but they're fantastic resources for helping farmers to bring their products directly to the consumer. When you go to McDonald's, you go to the grocery store, there's about 10 steps, about 10 middlemen in between. And the farmers aren't making the money off those foods. Those middlemen are making the money. So anyways, think twice before going to the fast food restaurant. Because because we're already eating a plastic-based diet. We're already unwillingly filling our bodies with these microplastics. They just want us to do it willingly.
Our metabolism, brain function, mood, and sense of well-being are all profoundly affected by having healthy hormone levels. Sperm counts among Western men have halved in the last 40 years. Men's testosterone levels have dropped over 20% in the last 20 years alone. Hormones, microplastics, and toxic pollutants in the water supply dramatically affect both male and female fertility. Masculinity, families, monogamy, real femininity are pathologized and demonized in mass media. It's time to step up and take responsibility for our diets, our habits, our daily lifestyle, and proper supplementation. And that's what Chalk's here to do, with the highest quality natural supplements and adaptogens to help our bodies to adapt to the stressors of this modern life. Chalk is here to support a healthy, functioning immune system and hormone balance. Head over to chalk.com, that's CHOQ.com, for the highest quality natural adaptogens and supplements to get your hormones, your body, and your brain functioning how they're designed to function. Use the coupon code BIG35LIFE, that's BIG35LIFE, to get 35% off all subscriptions for life on any subscriptions to the highest quality supplements from Chalk. They will be delivered to your door monthly, so you don't have to remember to take them. Check out the Chalk Daily, which includes, among other natural botanicals, 500 milligrams of Chalk's purified shilajit, patent protected and clinically studied and proven to increase free and total testosterone by 19 to 24% within 90 days. And the Chalk Tongkat 100, clinically proven to support healthy hormone production, enhanced physical and mental energy, healthy weight levels, and improved sleep quality, as well as healthy adrenal function in both men and women. Use the code BIG35LIFE, BIG35LIFE at chalk.com. That's CHOQ.com. Get yourself on that male vitality stack and receive 35% off of any monthly subscriptions for the rest of your life from chalk.com. Get your hormones right, take responsibility for your health, reclaim your vitality, and head over to chalk.com, CHOQ.com.